Yeah, title check-in, Elliot Wilson. I'm closing out the year, man, with this man who's been on fire, man. I've been sleeping in the beginning. I'm wide awake. Jack Harlow, how are you, sir?
What's going on, man? How you living?
I'm living good, baby. That's what they all say, right? Like, I know that's the title of the album. And, you know, it's to me, I think you said it's references like, you know, a lot of the haters, a lot of the critics, things that people have said negatively. But the talk on this album, man, is that it's pretty good, man. I don't see a lot of hate when you drop this album. What do you make of the whole feedback of this release?
Instant classic.
How do you do that, man? How did you do that? Like, is this how you envision your debut album was going to be? Because you put a lot of work in to get to this moment. Like, so how, like when you first thought of what this album was going to be, how much does it match what the final product actually was?
Well, you know, I've been imagining this moment for a while, and I definitely didn't imagine a pandemic to go with it, but it's all good. I guess it is what I imagined. People are receiving it and seeing it how I wanted to be seen. And I feel like people are getting closer to seeing me how I want to be seen. And I guess in a way, that's the goal. But, you know, there's always going to be a discrepancy between who you think you are and how you're being received. But I feel good about the fact that people are looking at me and saying, wow, this is real. He's being truthful. He's being honest. That was my goal for this album, is honesty and truth. So I accomplished it. I'm happy.
Yeah, you said, I think it's so, you said that Don Cannon, I wanted to talk about the Generation Now dudes, like, you know, you call them gatekeepers, you know, they're certified OGs in the game from Lake to Cannon to Drama. You know, I wanted to get a little bit more insight into your relationship with them and how they help you. I think it was, you were saying that Cannon really pushed you more so to make sure that you tell your truth, right?
Yeah, Cannon was definitely pushing me in that truthful direction. He just told me the greats are honest. And that's why you got a lot of honesty on this album, because I was really reaching deep and looking inwards thinking, you know, what have I not said? What's the story I haven't told?
So what is that story to people that may not be, like they hear Louisville, Kentucky, white dude, like what are they missing besides the most tangible things? What's the arc of the story that you think people are really going to connect to more on this album than anything you've done before?
I think that there's a lot of power in vulnerability, and I make myself vulnerable a lot in this album. And it's interesting when you give yourself that vulnerability and almost show weakness, the moments of strength are much more compelling because people know you were telling the truth on the other end. So for me, that's really the focus is, you know, a lot of my records that have had success are my cockier records, the records where I'm popping my shit.
What's popping, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm swagging out. And I think this album's a good chance for people to dive in and see, you know, I'm aware of my flaws too. I'm self-aware, I'm honest. And sometimes when you give those flaws out that people relate to and resonate with, it makes it easier to connect to than I'm Superman.
Yeah. How did you not lose your head? Like when every artist dreams of making that hit record, right? And then obviously the wave of that comes in, it changes your life. Like, what was that like for you? And how did you not allow that to not allow that to make you lose focus? How did you stay on point?
Well, you know, I think I got lucky not blowing up and becoming some megastar at 15, 16, 17. You know, I've been able to grow into this role and like kind of anticipate the things that have come with it. You know, I've been touring for a couple years. I got great mentors. I've got a great family. So I've been moving at kind of my own pace and going up steadily. And because of that, I think I was able to anticipate what this might feel like.
Yeah, I love you make so many smart production choices, guest feature choices. Just even starting the record with Hit Boy. Here's a guy who's been all over the place this year. You would think, okay, everybody got a Hit Boy track, blah, 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 but your track with him feels very special. Why was Rendezvous the right intro for your album?
It's interesting. Tyler Hero was going to be the intro. And I really wasn't happy with that. I didn't feel like I wanted to hear that beat come on for the next 10 years when I played my album. And so I just wanted something, texture-wise, I just wanted something that felt a little different. And it's funny, I was stressing. I was pulling my hair out like, damn, I need a new intro. And the clock was ticking. 48 hours before I had to turn the album in, I knocked out Rendezvous. It was the last song I did.
Wow.
And I had that Hit Boy beat for a while. Hit Boy's been sending me beats, and I was just looking for a certain tempo, and that one felt right. And the lyrics felt right on it. It just came together.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you say on that record, you say track 3 is where I tell her we're going to rendezvous. And then so much of the bulk of the first half of the album, I think is surprising, is that it's kind of centered on women, right? 21C Delta, Funny Seeing You Here, Already Best Friends. What made you go there?
Well, you know, they say there's like 3 pillars of entertainment: sex, violence, and drugs. And
what's your favorite, Jack?
I'm not a super druggy. I'm not a super violent guy. So for me, I think I do lean on the sex side of things a lot. And women inspire me. I've liked women since I was young. I mean, my parents said when I was a kid I wanted to buy Barbies just to undress them. So I was 3 years old doing that. So it's a natural thing. It's what I like.
Do you feel comfortable at Blue Flame?
I do.
I think what also unique too is that I feel like a lot of the times, you know, just as an MC, especially when you do these records centered around women, your flow is very like conversational, right? Like it's very like measured and conversational. Like, how have you developed into that type of lyricist where it comes off so very confident, but still kind of a conversational flow?
I appreciate it. For me, like every word, like if you pay attention to how we mix our records, like it's really important to me that the vocals kind of sit on top and you get to understand every word. And so I write kind of the same way. It's conversational because I want it to be easy to follow and I want people to like be tuned into it. And especially the girl records, like I want girls to listen to that and feel like it is a conversation. I want them to understand me. So making sure I'm coming across and being understood, and there's very few lines for me where people are like, what the hell did he say? And I think, you know, a lot of artists have those. Like me, I want it to feel like a conversation. The easier it is to digest, the easier you can attach to it.
Yeah. What made you connect with Big Sean for A Way Out?
Man, Big Sean messaged me after Tyler Hero came out and just gave me my flowers, and just came off real genuine, and we started talking and FaceTime, and I told him, yo, I have this record I've been sitting on. And I sent it to him and he liked it. And I ended up being in LA a few days later, and he's like, why don't you come to the crib? And he did the verse right in front of me. So it just happened naturally. And, you know, he's a rapper I respect. I know he can rap on any tempo. And I know he's always going to bring it.
People feel like this radio got to be ready for this Already Best Friends record, man. You and Chris Brown. What made you bold enough to sing on a song with Chris Brown?
Good question. I'd be wondering what makes me bold enough to do anything. That's what I felt. I remember I did the hook and I just started vibing and a melody came to my head. She's a Georgia State freshman. And I just ended up finishing it out. I freestyled my verse. So I just kind of swagged it out, and Chris wasn't on the song yet, so it worked out perfect. And when I sent it to him, he loved the pocket. He was like, "Yo, the pocket crazy."
Tell me about this guy Jetson, man. This producer, man. Like, it seems like you guys have a very unique chemistry. You know, I know he's shined with the Baby on certain records and stuff, but you guys, What's Poppin', Way Out, Already Best Friends. I think he co-produced Same Guy. You hit him with the church drop on that joint. Like, talk about Jetson and like what makes him unique and special as a producer.
Well, one, we get along really well. We have a lot of laughs in the studio, and I mean, we like each other a lot. So that's, you know, we've taken trips to record together. We really get along. But secondly, he pushes me. You know, he asked me when he wants me to rap, he says, yo, go in there and rap. You know, I don't want you to sing this time. I want you to rap. So he pushes me in different places, and I pushed him when we first started working. I asked him to do this up-tempo stuff. I mean, if you notice, a lot of the beats on this album are beats Jetson has never done. I mean, Same Guy sounds nothing like it. Way Out, Already Best Friends. They've never heard him do this. So I think for him, it's been exciting to expand his catalog because he wants to be here to stay. He doesn't want to be remembered as a one-year producer. Yeah.
Explain to me how important this Love Is Dro record to your city, to Louisville, like to make that type of record. How important is that to your hometown?
It's huge, man. It's huge. You know, Static was one of the first guys for us, rest in peace, that just did it on that national stage and got love and appreciation in the industry and made it feel possible. So him passing away was a big hit for the city, and it was tough, but he set such a standard for the culture. And then Bryson came out when I was in high school. And so for me, I always idolized Bryson as well. And I can't explain like what it means to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I remember I sent it to Bryson. He was so excited to do it because he envisioned this very moment. So it's huge.
Yeah. And so it was a record you were sitting on for a while, right?
I had Love Is Dro for 2 years. You know, his widow invited me to her house a couple years ago, December 2018, and she wanted to play me some songs. She liked what I've been doing for the city, and she played me that, and I was like, need it.
Yeah. No, we talked about women earlier. One the most important woman is your moms, man. I'm jealous, man. You know, I'm about to be 50 years old. I'm jealous of young men like you that like their parents put them on to hip hop. You know what I mean? They grew up, she put you on to hip hop. You grew up like Marshall Mathers album, things like that. Talk about those experiences growing up and having a mom who sort of introduced you to a lot of what was going on in hip hop.
Nah, she definitely did. She had a cabinet full of CDs that, you know, she purchased on her own. She had Tupac's discography. She had Tribe Called Quest, Public Enemies. I remember when she bought Late Registration and played it in the car with me, and I remember her turning around looking at me like, now you're going to hear some words on here you can't say.
Look at that, a responsible mom too.
Yeah, so I definitely grew up hearing it.
Yeah, and you included at the end of Keep It Light, you know, one of those ones like you said, when you get that shit off your chest, like why did you decide to include her vocals on that? And is that a problem that you have a lot where you feel like you can't enjoy the moment, you're so focused on the next goal?
Yeah, to a degree. That's something I've worked on a lot this year, is just looking down and like reminding myself to enjoy and have fun with it, be present. You know, the advice you get from everybody is sometimes hard to make a habit. So I've been making that a habit and really trying to enjoy myself. I think about the future a lot and sometimes even the past, but sometimes you just got to take a look at what you have. But yeah, I wanted to include my mom on there because, you know, there's no hook on that song really. It's just the sample switches. And so for me, I didn't have a chorus to go into, so it was a little anticlimactic. So I'm like, yo, something meaningful here would be perfect. And I never really forced something like that, but my mom had sent me something that stuck with me, so I ended up using that video.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite bars on this album, man? I like all the greats called all the hate, all the rappers I love most at one point got called a fake. Like that last second verse in Keep It Light. What's some of your favorite bars on the joint?
Man, that song alone has some quotables. One of my favorite is I keep it humble so you can have a good time. I keep it light so you can have a little shine.
What do you mean when you say that? When you say I keep it humble, what is the exact statement you're trying to make with that?
You know, I feel like a lot of times for me, you know, when I go back home or I end up partying with people that ain't in the same position as me, haven't had the same fortune as me, there's a tension on both of our ends. One, on my end, you know, there's a potential I could be overthinking, but feeling like, I don't know if it's guilt, but just a strange feeling of, you know, being in this place and wondering, yo, how do you view me? You know what I mean? And sometimes I wonder if they feel too comfortable, feel like they can talk to me however they want, say things to me that are actually hurtful. Sometimes I feel like, you know, you actually, when you elevate, people kind of stop seeing you as human and they stop seeing you as somebody that, even if y'all had a relationship, once you're at that distance, it's like, they feel like they can talk to you however. So for me, I've always felt like I've dimmed my light sometimes to allow others to feel comfortable and feel good.
Yeah. Did you turn up when you found out you got that Grammy nomination, man? Atlanta's open, man. Did you celebrate? What'd you do?
I was in Louisville, but I turned up.
Let me give you the tough question. I know you want to win, but if you don't win, we got Deep Reverence, Bop, The Bigger Picture, Savage, Dior. Like, what's another joint? If you don't win, you wouldn't mind. You say that's a good record. I'm not gonna be mad.
I wouldn't mind any of them.
Yeah, good answer, man. This guy's smart. He's a smart young man. This Jack Harlow guy, man.
They've been trying to get me for a while now, man. I'm trying.
What do you think it is that makes you like so built for this, right? Like, you know, you face a lot of critics. You know, you're gonna get those like outwardly like doubting you, white dude, Louisville, unproven market in a sense. Like, what do you think about you that makes you so thick-skinned to be able to deal with all this and feel this tide of like people starting to really recognize and silencing those doubters?
I mean, I think I have some security in who I am. I like who I am. And so it takes a lot of effort for somebody to like say something to make me dislike who I am. And it's happened to me in my life. I've felt that way. I've you know, had doubts, but for the most part, I spend a lot of time believing myself and believing who I am. So once you're in that mindset, I think she just bounces off you.
Exactly. We all could learn from that, man. Thank you, brother. Continued success, man. I definitely enjoyed the album.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed this convo, bro. I appreciate you.
No doubt, bro. Jack Harlow, baby. Title check-in. Year-end finale, baby.